Howdy traders, FX Big Dog here, coming to you with another video on the weekly outlook. Two currency pairs in this crosses we're going to pay attention to, which is going to be the Aussie crosses and New Zealand crosses. We have New Zealand data coming out. They're expecting rates to stay unchanged on Tuesday. We also know that there's Aussie data coming out on Wednesday. This is the jobs for the Aussies. Now, they are looking at weaker numbers, but can that weaker number drive the market bearish on the Aussie crosses? We're going to go take a look at all of that information right after this. Alrighty traders, well, welcome back for another video here on the weekly outlook, and we're going to take a look at a couple of things here. Not only are we going to focusing on the news this week, but we're going to focus on some currency pairs that are going to be affected by the news. I'm also going to look for any sort of like divergence setup that I may want to pay attention to in this week, and also specifically if this certain pair is trading at a key level of support and resistance. It may be an eye watcher. Is that a word? Well, I'm going to say it is. All right, maybe a pair that we may want to keep our eye on for this week, and if we are seeing a potential turnaround based off support and resistance confirmed by divergence, it's going to give us a much better trading opportunity to make money on that trade. So let's go ahead and dig into the details. I'm going to go into the charts right now, and let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have here this evening. And it is, for those that don't know, that is Monday evening, and we're looking at the week outlook as to what is moving the market this week and how we're going to go ahead and trade that. So let me go ahead and take a look right here. As I go ahead and take a look at the charts, I'm going to flip over to the fundamental calendar this week and take a look and see what we're expecting out this week. All right, so this is what we're going to keep an eye on. We're going to keep an eye on the New Zealand rate decision. They keep the rates unchanged at 0.25%. We'll take a look how the technicals are set up on this pair, because if the technicals are set up on this pair and they set up neutral, then maybe the fundamentals are just going to be choppy. So we'll pay attention to the details right after we take a look at this list of data coming out this week. Now, you can see we have the policy statement and the rate statement, plus the press conference coming out just after each other right here. That's going to be an interesting evening from around 10 p.m. in the evening all the way to 11 p.m. Now, there's definitely a shift here, because normally we get the rate decision taking place for the New Zealand dollar at 5 p.m. at the close of well, at least at rollover, the close of the day. We normally see the rate decision taking place at that time. I am surprised to see now it's at 10 o'clock in the evening. But okay, fair enough. You know, the European, or at least the Asian markets already opened up and started moving, and now we're getting this data coming in, which is great. All right, fantastic. Now, also what we're going to go ahead and take a look at as well is we have the data coming out for the, let's see here. Oh, there it is there. We got data on Wednesday, unemployment change and unemployment rate. Sorry, employment change and unemployment rate. And this is coming out for the Aussies on Thursday at 9:30. Sorry, Wednesday at 9:30. My bad. And we're expecting the numbers to be bad for the Aussies. You can see right here we're expecting weak employment change, and of course unemployment rate shoot up to 8.3%. That is what is projected for Wednesday. Now, let's take this information and go into the actual chart and see how we can put this all together and make sense of this. All right. So I'm going to start off with the Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD right here is hitting a top, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this in right here. Let me clear up the data here. There we go. All right. So we've got a downward trend line. I spoke about this in the AAA meeting, and that is not got anything to do with someone drinking too much. We're talking about the AAA, which is the Ask an Analyst session. All right, not AAA as you may think it to be. So this is it right here. We're looking at the Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD has found support from a range that it broke out of, and I spoke about it in the session today. I said if we break above 0.9163, we will then continue to be bullish all the way up to the top right here at around about 1.0400, maybe even a little bit lower than that. Now, if we break below this level right here, which is priced at, let's take a look right here, it's priced at around about 0.90. If we break through that, we got a long ways down because we're looking to chase after this level right here, and that is approximately, let's go ahead and measure it out. So from here, all the way up here to where it's at right now, let's say from the break, we're looking at about 941 pips in opportunity. So that's going to be a great opportunity for us to go ahead and continue to sell this market down south. So right now, I am seeing a little bit of divergence, all right? You can see that we have a Class A divergence where price is hitting the top of the year. And then we're seeing that the momentum indicator is indicating that momentum is selling off. So we're starting to see price follow as we hit the tops there. We have, in fact, we closed out today with an indecision candle. And we've now reopened up for the new trading day, and it's been bearish for most part. If I go down to a lower time frame, like the 1 minute time frame, I love this 1 minute time frame. You can see we had the breakout very early here, and the breakout took place around about 8 o'clock this evening. We had a nice little move, and it broke south right here and offered us at least 40 pips to the downside. For those that want to go ahead and scalp the Asian session, I'm not a fan of trading the Asian session. Spreads are wide. We have low liquidity. Not a type of time that I like to go ahead and trade. I like to trade during the European session. And so if I look for a trading opportunity and I see it setting up, I may go ahead and take a trading robot, set up a time parameter for me to start trading in the European session based on the directional bias that I'm looking to trade. That is my preference of trading. Now, let's go ahead and take a look here. So I'm going to go ahead and say this. At the moment right now, I'm bearish. I'm not strong bearish on Aussie CAD, but I'm bearish on Aussie CAD. But if it takes out this, and I'm going to go ahead and find a marker right here. This is going to make me strong bearish right here. Strong bearish. I'm going to just go ahead and type it bearish right here. So this will be strong bearish if price can break through that level at 0.90. All right, I'll be strong bearish at that point, and I'll be strong bullish above 91.63. All right. Now again, I am seeing divergence, so traders could start getting in a little bit on this, and I would say that around about the European session, about 2 o'clock in the morning. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. This is New York time. I would start thinking about looking for a bearish sell-off and go ahead and start selling it. So this is the Aussie CAD right here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Ozzie Swiss. Again, focusing in on the Aussie crosses and New Zealand crosses this week. Let's take a look at Aussie Swiss right here. Aussie Swiss doing the same thing. We've got price coming up here to the 127. I did see that we hit a wave 1, 2, 3, came back, consolidated in a wave 4, rallied up to wave 5, and now I'm expecting price to take out the lows down here. So I'm going to say that this, and I'm going to pull this all the way up here. Don't know where this came from, but I'm going to pull it up as much as I can. Maybe I should just compress it and grab it. There it is. All right, good. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look right here. So here is where I'm expecting price. Let's see here, wave 4. Actually, here, my bad. Here. I'm looking for price to take out that low. So this is right here, and I'm going to call this a little different. I'm going to call this fourth wave target. All right, so this is where sellers are going to be targeting right here, this level right here at 60, 64. So if we look at that, we've got about, what, 200, let's call it 200 pips to the downside from where we're trading at the moment right now. Let's just double check here. Yeah, about 210, 220. All right, so looking for about 210, 220 pips further down south right here. Let's go ahead and see if we see the signals. We've got two little spinning tops here at the top. And so we haven't really got a decision candle yet on the daily. But if I go to the 1 minute time frame, we're already starting to see price breaking down. And it broke down just around about 8 o'clock. Similar to the Aussie CAD, we saw a nice little breakdown. Markets in consolidation right here. We should continue with the downside trend. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 1 hour on the same right here. And the 1 hour is not yet bearish, but we are seeing it trading in a bearish environment, which means below the 200 EMA. So yeah, the 1 hour is on its way. The 15-minute time frame, that's bearish as well. So we got the bearish 15-minute, we got the 1 minute time frame bearish. 1 hour hasn't confirmed yet, but it's in the bearish environment. So I'm definitely I definitely would consider selling Ozzie Swiss as well as we start the early morning session. So if you look for early morning session, certainly that would be the place to go ahead and look to find some trades. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull up the 4 hour right here. And the reason why I'm pulling up the 4 hour, I want to see if we've got any sort of divergence here. And we did get a bit of divergence. It happened in last week. There it is there. All right, not as convincing divergence that I'd like to see. I like it when we see price, or at least the oscillator trade, really high in an extreme overbought condition, and then start giving us this nice little break to the downside right here while price is going up higher. This was the ideal divergence right here. We're not seeing it at the moment right now in the current price. All right, so that's where we're at on that. So again, focus on Aussie bearish, and that includes the Aussie Swiss right here. So Aussie CAD, Aussie Swiss, both bearish, and I will continue for the week trade bearish. And that of course may change with the news on Wednesday. But I'm going to stay bearish on Aussie for the rest of the week, and I'll make a decision midway in the week on Wednesday when we have the data come out, the jobs come out, because the jobs are going to support the fact that we should see weaker Aussie. But the only thing that's going to stop things, all right, is if price has already been, well, at least if the market's already priced it in, all right? If it's already been priced in, if the bad data on Wednesday has already been priced into the market, then on Wednesday, maybe a turning point, we may see something different. And that could only mean that the Aussie is becoming a safe haven for investors, because they've seen that the Aussie could recover a lot quicker based on the pandemic that we've had over the last few months. So if that's going to be the case, then we'll keep an eye on the Aussie at those levels and see if it maintains either a bearish level or a bullish level, and that is dependent, of course, what happens on Wednesday. But up until Wednesday, I'm going to stay bearish on Aussie crosses, and then on Wednesday would be, of course, the pivotal point whether or not we remain bearish or start looking to trade the opposite direction. So maybe what a good trading plan would be is to trade everything intraday up until Wednesday. Come Wednesday, let's get the data out, let the data then determine the directional bias, and then we can go ahead and make some decisions based on the technical setups that we have on the directional bias. All right? Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what else we got here on Aussie JPY. Aussie JPY, we just come off a 4 hour sharp pattern right here, and price is moving down south. That pattern has already given us most of the move. I wouldn't be getting in on this pattern because we've already seen a 95 pip move on this pattern. So that definitely is not something we'll pay attention to. Let's take a look if we've got any signals here on the... Look at this. Aussie JPY shows a spinning top right here, right at resistance. It's at the 2019 low, that is the August low. That's creating resistance now for the market right here. So it goes all the way back to this level right here that we are now seeing price holding off there. We also see this rising wedge. Now we're expecting price to go ahead and fall. So I don't see the divergence here. I do see momentum pushing south. I don't see the divergence here. Price never traded up above that level. So we're not seeing divergence. So we're still inside this bit of consolidation. So could the market do something like this and then go ahead and fall? Possibly. All right. That's always a possibility right there. Okay. But if you look at the 1 minute time frame, 1 minute is already bearish, obviously because of the most part of today. Let's go take a look over here. We have an Aussie JPY target for the week. That is a pivot point at 68.98. That's come and gone. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole bunch of opportunities on the Aussie JPY, but because of what's happening this week with the data coming out on Wednesday, maybe we're going to see the opportunities on Wednesday, Thursday once again. So right now, still bearish on Aussie JPY. Trading opportunities may be short and small, but by Wednesday we should have a much clearer perception as to what's going on with the Aussie JPY. Let's go to Aussie New Zealand dollar. Aussie New Zealand dollar, let's go to the daily time frame. Yeah, we've always spoken about that resistance here at the top. We said the price is going to come back down to retest this level. All right, that level is down here at 1.0487. That is still part of the game plan right here. So we're still looking for price to move down south on Aussie New Zealand dollar. So we should be seeing a dip to the downside. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. So Aussie New Zealand dollar bearish as well this week. Let's take a look over here. This is Aussie US dollar. Same thing. We got double tops here. Pretty much range bound. You can see right here we actually are trading inside a range. But we should see price dip down here. If we do see the weakness continue with Aussie, and if Wednesday does play out to the way we expect it to be, then we could see the market dropping down even further. Now, if it changes, if the data changes, and it is reported negative, but the market reacts differently to that, then we'll go ahead and see what happens to price at that point in time. But right now, we absolutely want to be a seller in the market and continue to sell until Wednesday. And again, we're talking about short-term selling opportunity, right? Short-term selling opportunity. By Wednesday, we may change the direction, or we'll just continue to trade in that direction. We'll take a look and see what happens on Wednesday. But Wednesday is definitely the data is going to be reporting, and we'll be able to see the different reaction to the market. Now, let's go take a look and see what else we got going here. So Aussie New Zealand, let's go take a look at some of the like major crosses. Pound Aussie, what is Pound Aussie doing? Pound Aussie is bouncing bullish. Why? Let's take a look and see what's going on here. All right, so we've broken through. All right, so we've gone into this upward trend right here. We've managed to come back down to this support right here. Let me go ahead and pull up some support levels right here. And we can see right here, we haven't quite hit the 1.618 down there. We did take out the low there. All right. I know we traded a little bit, or at least we were looking for some divergence. Well, we don't have divergence on the daily. Let's see if we picked up something on the 4 hour. 4 hour, we had a class B divergence right here. See a flat bottom and oscillator moving up. So that is a typical breakout of consolidation, which we did have. We had a breakout of consolidation. I'd be expecting Aussie pound to move up towards this target right here. This is a monthly target at 96.74. So I would think that we could be bullish on this. And look at the 1 hour, sorry, the 1 minute. The 1 minute is bullish already. We've got a bit of Asian range bound trading. So I would think that as we head into the early morning sessions in the UK, things might turn around and we may see a nice little push to the upside on Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie looks like an interesting pair to go ahead and trade early morning, if that's something you pay attention to. Let's go take a look and see what else we got. I'm going to jump into the Euro Aussie. Here is Euro Aussie right here. And Euro Aussie is also bouncing off the support right here. Right? Also seeing a flat divergence right here, Class B divergence right here. Euro Aussie also interesting to go ahead and look to trade it along. Let's go take a look at the 4 hour. 4 hour right here, there it is. Oh, actually, we didn't trade that below that, but let's take a look here. So there was the low, there was another low. We have divergence here. All right, check this out. All right, not a very exciting, but we do have it. There it is there. So this move right here is the call. If you take a look over here, this is the call that we have here to go long. As soon as price, right here, as soon as price closes out and closes out with that bullish engulfing right there, that's telling us that price is going to start moving up. So we definitely have the signs of bullishness in this particular pair. And all we got to do now is look for the opportunity on the lower time frame. Let's take a look here. Euro Aussie sideways just before the European session. I think on the breakout we should be seeing some good solid buys on Euro Aussie. I like to see Euro Aussie the continuation of the Euro Aussie bullish in the most part of this week. Again, midweek we'll reevaluate that, or at least reevaluate that on Wednesday based on the data. Okay, so I'm going to be bullish on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, reevaluate, see what the data reports, and then Thursday, Friday we'll have a new directional bias, either continuation or reversal. Okay, let's go to some New Zealand crosses right here. I'm going to go to Euro New Zealand right here, and Euro New Zealand. Let's take a look at the 4 hour right there. We had price, no divergence on this. Let's go to the larger time frame. Oh, this is messy. Oh, this is really messy. But hey, it's come back to support right here and it's bouncing off that support. So you can definitely appreciate that. And if I look over here, we do have a daily divergence here. Look at that. All right. We do see the oscillator moving up. So with that bullish piercing line right here, we could see some upside move on Euro New Zealand dollar. So Euro New Zealand dollar looks like it could ride the wave up. And let's go to the, and it looks like we've already hit a target here for the week. Interesting. All right, let's take a look here. Range bound. I don't like this. Anytime I see, anytime I go into a 1 minute time frame and I see it congested the way I see this right here, and when it's like this, I stand aside. Now you could set a trade to take place at the breaks of this range, all right, or this wedge right here. You could look for the trade to break out of the wedge and then trade that, and that may just very much take the European session to do that, right? We may see the European session push through those levels. So if you want to wait until the European session to trade this, that might not be a bad idea. All right, may not be a bad idea. But definitely right now, not the place to go ahead and look for trades. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see what else we got going here. In fact, I'm interested in the pound New Zealand dollar. Here's the pound New Zealand dollar right here. What's going on here? Okay, looks like we got a key support level right here on this upward trend line. We haven't broken through yet. It's not been that convincing. Let me see here. We got a piercing line closed out today. Price and momentum are moving in the same direction, so that's not cool. We're at support there. Let's go take a look at the pivot points for the week. We had a pivot point up here. This market's gone ahead and tested, which means that if we actually break out of this downward trend line, this is the 1 hour, if we see a break below that, we should be heading south. Okay, let's see here on the 4 hour. 4 hour, not seeing divergence here on the 4 hour yet. I'm not seeing the opportunity here on the 4 hour, not yet. So, pound New Zealand dollar on the sideline until I get something in, that's going to be clearer to trade. Not seeing that at the moment right now. And maybe it's going to be a bearish divergence, right? If I see a bearish divergence, then maybe then we'll be selling this short. I don't see anything to convince me on a buy yet. And this piercing line right here, not enough to go ahead and say I'm ready to go ahead and trade it. I would love to see a bit of divergence here, some bullish divergence or bullish convergence to confirm an actual upward trend. But nope, not going to happen. Not today. Alright, so I'll probably stand on the sideline on the pound New Zealand. Let's take a look at New Zealand CAD. Let's first get a little bit of an overview on the... Alright, so we did come back inside the range right here. We're looking for price to move back up to the top of the range. The opportunity to the top right here gives us still about 1,200 pips, give or take a few. And even this downward trend line that we have right about here, if price comes up to that level, we could certainly go ahead and test it. And then if we break that, then we'll get up to the top of the range. So we see that taking place there. Let me take a look at the divergence here. No, we're hovering here. It's pretty sideways. And we wait for a breakout. Yeah, so I would say that once we get the breakout on the daily, close candle on either up or bottom side of this this wedge. This is actually a ascending triangle. So if we get a breakout of this triangle, then only then we'll go ahead and look to trade that. And the ascending triangle breaks out to the upside, which is perfectly in line with what we're looking for, because we look for price to move back up to the top of the range, which is up over here. So we'll have to be a little bit patient on that. Now, if that's the case, then doesn't that sound like we're going to have a strong New Zealand pair? That is probably the case. Let's take a look at the US oil. US oil is trading at 25. We haven't broken through that $25 a barrel yet. So we haven't seen a big upward move in US oil, which means that we're not going to see any driving force out of the Canadian, and that New Zealand would be that one to move the market. Now, will the rates, keeping the rates unchanged at 0.25%, if the central banks keep the rates at 0.25% and don't change the rate, it looks like we're probably going to see something positive come out of that rate decision. We'll have to wait to see what the press conference and the rate statement says in order to be able to determine exactly what the markets are really looking for. So we'll keep an eye on that. But for right now, the technicals are indicating that we may possibly see a strong New Zealand dollar in this week. And that is it's tomorrow, right? What time tomorrow? Let's take a look. We've got the news coming out at 10 p.m. So 10 p.m. tomorrow may be an interesting move into the European session for those that are looking for trading opportunities. So interesting times, okay? Very interesting times. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what else we've got here with the New Zealand crosses. New Zealand JPY. New Zealand JPY. All right, let's see here. I would say this is tough. Well, there's support. Let's see if I can bring up something else. All right, there it is there. So we have range-bound trading on New Zealand JPY. If we can get a breakout of either side, I mean, let's just take a look and see how much. We've got about 140 pips to the downside right here. Now, we have indecision right here. And if I'm seeing indecision, do I see I'm not seeing divergence. Just on the daily. Let me see if I got divergence on the 4 hour. Nope. We've seen price and momentum both move in the same direction. So we're not getting a nice level of divergence. And the reason why, if you're wondering why am I looking for divergence, the reason why I'm looking for divergence is I'm looking for a good entry point to start selling or buying. When you have divergence, it's an early early indication that the market's going to turn around and head to the downside. Now, when you see support and resistance, if you see price at support or resistance, and you get these type of patterns, divergence or convergence setting up, it gives us a very good indication that that support level or that resistance level is key to start selling at. And so we're not seeing it right now. So New Zealand JPY will have to stay on the sideline and wait for a better confirmation. All right, so that's that. Let's go to New Zealand Swissy and take a look here at New Zealand Swiss. New Zealand Swiss 4 hour, not seeing any sort of divergence there either. Let's take a look over here. And yeah, we had price moving up to the 1.618. I want to just take a look and see what's going on here. We're actually looking for price to move all the way to that level. I'm seeing pretty much what I've seen on the other charts right here. Let's just go ahead and clean up a little bit. Let's see here. Do we see a bit of consolidation? Let's see if we pull it in. Well, it created its tops there. Can't really say for sure. Let's see here. There it is. Let's take a look down here. Yeah, we definitely got tops up here at the top right here. We got tops up here. Let's see how much price can move down. 158 pips. So let me go back to. So the New Zealand CAD, we're expecting a breakout to the upside. New Zealand JPY, we said we could see a little bearish move here in New Zealand JPY. And then New Zealand Swiss franc, the same thing, also range bound. And both of them, JPY and Swiss being a safe haven currency, seems like we're stuck inside this range and the price is anticipated to drop back south. I'm probably going to stay on the sideline on New Zealand JPY and New Zealand Swiss franc. Let's take a look here on the 1 hour. You see how the 1 hour goes into this and starts hovering right here between the bands? I don't like that either. So I'll probably stay on the sideline on New Zealand Swiss, New Zealand JPY. But New Zealand CAD, I like New Zealand CAD. But also, I like it when it breaks out. I'm not going to go ahead and do anything now until I see the breakout right here. So although I'm anticipating that we may possibly get a strong New Zealand move, if I look at New Zealand CAD and New Zealand New Zealand JPY and New Zealand Swiss franc, I'm not quite getting the same feeling of a possible bullish rally. Now we are range bound, and the market did go into the range from the bottom, which means we're going to break out to the top side. So with that being added on, now it's leaning from more to like 50-50 to now almost 60, maybe 70-30 that we get a breakout to the upside on the New Zealand crosses. So I'm going to say that I'm probably 70% positive of an upside move in New Zealand crosses, which means strong New Zealand dollar in this week. And that is pre the data that's coming out tomorrow, and that is the interest rate decision. Keeping the rates unchanged normally does give a positive move to a currency pair. Now, given the fact that we're having all of this economic data coming out that's showing bad numbers for most of the countries due to the pandemic that we're in right now, I'm going to say that price has already been, we've already discounted that into price already, and now seen a positive reaction in a rate unchanged decision, might just be the way of the market going through this week. And the technicals, in my opinion, the technicals are lining up with that exact same move. Bullish on New Zealand crosses across the board. That's what I'm going to go ahead and say. Now, when will I react? Probably after tomorrow's data. So tomorrow's data would be absolutely key to wait for the data, then wait for the confirmation, and then trade in that direction. That is definitely what we should be doing here. So no decisions up until 10 o'clock tomorrow. When the data comes out, decision making time tomorrow. Let's go into the New Zealand US dollar as the last confirmation right here. And man, look at that. No changes right here. You can see right here, resistance, resistance, resistance. And price could fall down for a bit of scalping right here for about 200 pips or so. But if we're going to get the data coming out on Tuesday, why even touch this pair? Let's wait for the price to move back. And that's pretty much what we're going to be expecting right here. We're expecting price to move back up to the top of the range right here. So we're looking for a New Zealand rally. This is New Zealand US dollar rally. And that'll give us a maybe 700 pips to the upside. So instead of looking at this 200 pip opportunity that we're going to try and scalp the market in, let's wait for the confirmation on Tuesday at 10:30. We'll get the news and we'll get all the data out. We'll then take a look and see if we get confirmation of directional bias. So tomorrow is going to be key for New Zealand crosses. And that is pretty much what my focus is going to be on this week. So let's go ahead and do a recap on this. So Aussie data. All right, we got that coming out on Wednesday. We got some short-term scalping right now, looking for weakness on Aussie crosses across the board. So selling Aussie every intraday moves until Wednesday. Come Wednesday, we're reevaluated based on the data coming out. We're getting employment change, unemployment rate coming out on Wednesday. When that comes out, we'll take a look and see what the Aussie does at that point. It'll either continue to be weakness for the Aussie, or we'll go ahead and reverse that and start thinking bullish. We'll wait for the confirmation on that. But again, some short-term scalping up until Wednesday, and then we'll make a decision after Wednesday. Now, New Zealand, love it. New Zealand is range-bound on most of the pairs, either in a wedge or a rectangle. Now, if we are consolidated or wedged up on the New Zealand crosses, then I'm standing aside until tomorrow's data. 10 o'clock, we're going to get data coming out. It's rate decision time for the New Zealand dollar. They're keeping the rates unchanged. And in most cases, under normal conditions, all right, forget about the pandemic, under normal conditions, when they keep the rates unchanged, it's normally a positive move in that pair. That's what it looks like it's lined up technically. So technically, without looking at anything else, we should see a positive move if they keep the rates unchanged. So that's what I'm going to bank on. I'm seeing about 70% confirmation that we're going to see an upside move in New Zealand crosses after tomorrow's data. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll check out and see how that moves the market. All right, traders? And I may go ahead and surprise you with a live session just before the data comes out. Go ahead and reevaluate and make a decision as to how I'm going to trade it heading into the European session. So, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you're not going to get the notification. Make sure you subscribe, smash the like button, and comment on the video. I'd like to hear what you have to say about the decisions we're going to do. What are you going to do in the next few days as we head into this week based on those two major crosses? Aussie crosses, New Zealand crosses. What's your decision? This is Epic Big Dog, and I'll see you in the next video.